a little bit about the characteristics of this book, of the Book of Zohar. So we know that it has interpretations about the Torah, about the biblical text. And yes, the biblical text is some sort of an external frame to the Zohar. We have the big chunk of the Zohar that speaks about the portion of the week. True. But it's not the only thing. The Zohar interpretations do not limit themselves only to the biblical text, only to the text of the Torah books, of the 5 books of Torah. The interpretations of the Zohar by the manner or by the way of the secret also touches the halakha, the religious law, Tehillim, Psalm, the Agadah, the legends, and even prayers chapters within Jewish tradition. It is basically taking all those things that are not necessarily connecting to each other, and it somehow bind them all together into a cohesive structure that at the end of it, you understand much more about each and every one of those parts and of their bigger role as when combined. So the Zohar is taking a lot of time, things or ideas, or interprets a lot of places from here and from there without really that we understand the logical relations or the logical connection between the this kind of a pray to this kind of a verse, to this Tehillim sentence, to this scroll, to what Shir HaShirim, the Song of Songs, said. Like, it's all very messy, as if it is very messy, but it is in a way binding it all into a coherence, something that we can actually grasp and understand that there is a connection between all of these. So this is one of the beautiful things that the Zohar does, even though it's really tricky to get it, to grasp it. It touches, for example, things like prophecy and divine providence as well, but it touches those things in a very in a way that makes all these things all together even more cryptic, even more obscure, and even more of it's like everything that he will reveal, the Book of Zohar will overshadow whatever concept we had about those concepts before. So if he talks about prophecy, or if he talks about some sort of what will happen to us in the end of days, and we are so happy and thrilled because it's so interesting and amazing, and it can be so we would be able to finally understand or realize or to get a glimpse of what's going to happen to us all. But the way that he does it, it's so cryptic that we actually are being left with our tongues out, with our mouth, with our jaw dropped. We cannot grasp it. Like, the things are written in front of us, but this is really not something that we can really make any kind of sense out of. So it uses, and how does it do it? It uses a lot of, it explains, it gives us, instead of theoretical ideas, or it explains a lot of theoretical ideas in some sort of a symbolic painting. It's symbolically painting its theoretical ideas. And it's a very, very, very special form that is unique to the Zohar. It is almost like it is literature. It has lyrics within it, and the lyrics are also beautiful paintings that we can visualize. But all of this is out of this world. Those things that we can actually paint to ourselves and visualize very, very accurately is not in the situation that we are used to be in. It's not in the reality that is seen. We actually have to go above and beyond our knowledge, our mind, and our mind capacity in order to understand those things that the Zohar is talking about. So, as I said, there is no logical sequence here between the things most of the times, but there is a connection and there is a logical sequence to the person, to the one that have the keys to understand the symbolic paintings and the language of the Zohar in general. Because if you remember, I said the Zohar is teaching us a language. It's teaching us, it's re-educating us. It gives us a different point of view on reality, on the seen reality and on the obviously hidden reality. Or it gives us the opportunity to realize that the reality that we're living is nothing but like it's like a plot. It's like a show. It's not the real deal. It's really not the real deal. So the Zohar knows how to do it, and the verses that he uses, and the prayers, and the Tehillim, and all those things. Eventually, all those pictures that he pictures in, that we are able to see there, they are very well a person that have the key to unlock, or the Zohar's idea, would be able to understand the Zohar's language, and then will be able to read it and grasp it, get it. And the person that doesn't have the key would often probably would look about the book of the Zohar, even if he can read it, even if he can read the Aramaic, even if he can read the Hebrew. If it doesn't open up to him, if he doesn't have the key to understand the symbols, the concepts, the little ideas that together create this big scope of things, he won't be able to understand it. He would feel it's some sort of nonsense or meaningless, not really important things. So again, you need to have the key. And what's interesting is that after you receive the key, or after you learn how to read the text, you can then notice something very interesting. You then notice that the Zohar is actually not dealing really with the emotions or the human kind, if you want, drama. The human drama is nothing that the Zohar is taking any interest of. Sure, the sages, things happens to them. They cry, they laugh, they're happy, they're sad. Their friend is very sick. Other friend of theirs is dead. They are scared. They are absolutely astonished by divine providence and by divine presence. But they are not dealing with their own little life. They don't deal with themselves. They don't deal with the self at all. The self is completely vanished. If they are sad, if they are happy, if they are giving to us any kind of a glimpse to an emotion or a feeling that they have, the sages will take this glimpse of emotion or human feeling and will uplift it to other realms, will uplift it to the love. They feel love towards something, they will uplift it to the love of Hashem. They feel fear of something, they will uplift it to the belief in the divine providence. They cry about a friend of them there that is sick, and they will uplift it to what sickness even means in the realms above. What is happening to a person's soul when he's sick? How is God actually communicating with us when we see a person that is sick, or when a person is in trouble, or when a person has a mark on his face, or if a person has some sort of deficiency. Everything that the sages of the Zohar deal with in terms of what is human and what is normal and mundane is always it never comes as itself. It always comes in a way to crystallize our and polish our concept, our perception of the bigger picture of creation and our bigger role within it. So if we look about the Zohar, we can see that even the fact that this book is somewhat very obscure, not really you can't really understand it so well. It's very peculiar from time to time, most of the time. It's still, it gives you a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and it can take you from the most sublime heights of pathos to the most regular gibberish or stuttering of simple ideas, and whether there is a linear historic order or there isn't, the drama within the plot, the characters, the sages, the conversations that they have, the arguments sometimes that we can see in the Zohar, all those things, these movements that they have from one place to another place, whether it's in a geographical aspect on the land itself, or whether it's in their own mind itself, or whether it's in their own feelings. Whenever there is movement, the movement is echoing outside and uplifting itself to other realms of reality, of creation. And that what gives the Zohar some sort of it makes it some sort of a living, diversified creation. It makes it a vivid, a living creation, a book that you read, and it's not a plot that you read. You read the movement of life and the and what's beyond life and what was happened before life, and it's really an echo to other realms as well. Next time we will learn a little bit about the character of the book's hero, of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, also known as Rashbi. We will talk about a little bit about his character, about what we can say about him as a person, and I really hope you'll join me. Have a good week, day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are. Enjoy yourselves. Be holy.